Alright, welcome. If you happen to stumble upon this tutorial, then you're most likely creating a website for your Seeking Alpha stock pitch competition. So I have a little list here of basically things I'm going to go over. This is basically a how-to guide for creating your website for the Seeking Alpha stock pitch competition. Basically, we're going to go over how to set up a website, and then just a brief little thing on buying your website domain, which is basically your .com. So you don't have to have um, basically a long URL. You want that, for example, ESPN.com, or for here, magpsfs.com for Penn State's Finance Society's page. Um, so we'll go over that as well. Let me pull this up here. Okay, so hopefully your organization or club already has a website. This will save you a lot of time, but if they don't, this will be a guide for how you can kind of create your own. I'm also going to talk to you about how to incorporate the web page on your club's website, especially because I'm not sure, which template you're using, whether it be Weebly, WordPress, or Wix. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Also, show you how to include a Google registration form as well as a Google map, and just give you some feedback on how to change your website, tailor it toward the stock pitch competition, so on and so forth. Most likely you'll be working with Sophie on this project, so she'll have this video for you. She'll be able to give you, as well as reach out to me if you have any specific questions. Because you're most likely not going to be working on the same platform that I am, so you're going to most likely need some additional help. Now, hopefully, you have a webmaster or somebody who really understands this, and you'll be able to allow them to do it. But if not, you'll have all the tools you need to do this. So, what I like to do is start by showing you the end product. You'll have this stock competition tab on the edge of your page. And you'll see this is kind of what we're going for. This is the goal, just something that's very easy to read, has contact information, all the rules, as well as a map. For example, you'll see this. This is for the Smeal College of Business. Like when you click on this, you'll get a direct link right to where we are. So you'll know where our competition is, and you want to do this the same thing for your page. You can easily go to directions, and you know type in wherever your school is or wherever you're leaving from, and you'll be able to get step-by-step directions. You want to make it as easy as possible for people to understand where they're going. You'll also see this too, and I'll show you this. You're going to link the addresses, all this, so that way it's just one click. And along with that, this is kind of where the Google registration form comes in. You'll want to click on this just so it opens in the same page. And you'll see we just have a nice Google form here where participants can fill out their registration information. Very easy. A lot of this is not very hard to do. It just takes a little time and understanding. So this is the end goal, and the goal is to keep this all on one page. So because I'm an equal opportunity advertiser here, what I would recommend are these three sites. You have Wix, which I prefer. I've made a couple websites on Wix. Um, Generally, it gives you more options when it comes to creating things. You're able to you have a little more flexibility. Um, the next one is WordPress. WordPress I've never used. I know a lot of people use it. A lot of people like it. So it's definitely a good alternative. You don't have to go with Wix. And then you also have Weebly, which I've also made a website on. As you'll see, it's pre-populating the stuff I have in here. Also a very good site. You can't do as much with it as Wix. That's why I like Wix more, because you can kind of be more creative. But if you're just trying to make something simple, something basic, especially if you're starting out on your own, then WordPress and Weebly are just fine. It really doesn't matter. But these three options are definitely the most cost-effective for your organization. All right, so since I'm going to be using Wix and I already have this here, we'll use Wix for the time being. So first I'm going to show you how to set up your web page. Now I already have a bunch that I've already had, so I'll create a new account just for the sake of doing so. So give me 1 second to do this. This is my personal email, so nobody email me. I'm just kidding. You can email me if you want. If you have any questions, you can actually use this email here if you want to email me directly. So we'll say I'm a new user. I'll just put in a random password here. I would recommend checking the remember me function, but I'm not doing that just for the time being here. So do this again. And I would recommend for this using if your organization doesn't have an email address or doesn't have a website already, you'll want to do this. But if they do, then you won't need to do this. And frankly, you can review this if you want, but otherwise you won't need to unless you're going to be the one doing the website. Give me 1 second here, and I'll get us signed up. Okay, so when you get into Wix, for example, you're going to have to, basically they try to help you set up your website. So you're going to pick something that you think fits your organization. So whether it be business and service, For example, we're a finance organization, so that's probably what we're looking for. We're not necessarily looking to make a blog or anything for photography or restaurant hospitality, so we'll go with business and services. And now you kind of get more of a more specific like industry, so we'll go with finance and law because that's what we're into. Now, if you're making this for home or health and beauty, then you would click on that. It all depends like what you're looking for, and the templates they give you will basically be off of this. And if you see at the bottom, it says don't worry, you can always change your selection later, or you can view all the templates. This is just kind of helping you get a template that more fits your organization. Okay, audio is good. All right, so basically you're going to scroll through here and pick something that you think looks nice. You think that would look something that not maybe the colors of your shield, like for example, or your logo, for example, for something like this, we want to try to match the colors. Now you can change all of these things, but it helps if you can match the colors of your organization, and you maybe find something on here that matches that. It'll save you a little time. But if not, just pick one you think that looks the most interesting to you. You don't have to worry about, for example, insurance agency or business coaching. That doesn't really matter. You'll be able to change all these things that are inside. And you also notice that like the price for these are free. Some of these, the price is I don't see one on here right now, but the price is like advertisement, which we'll discuss in a little while. But let's say I like this one, so you can view that. There we go. And then you can kind of look and see, is this like what I think would be best for my website? Now keep in mind, all these colors you see, all this is very easy to change. All this, and I'll give you a brief background on this, but you can delete out a lot of this stuff. But let's say we like this one, and see there the price is free, so we'll click on to edit this site. And it does take a little time every time logging in, even on a high-speed internet connection. It will take you a little while. Okay, alright, so we're here. So, let me get rid of this. So, I would definitely recommend, if you've never made a website before, to watch that video. It'll definitely help you out, along with this video. But Wix does have a nice thing of it kind of explains like the way their stuff works. So you'll see we kind of have this big open space. All you're thinking, oh wow, here all this is, but like how can I make it into mine? You can click on all these individual things. You'll have all these settings. For example, you can move this to the middle. It all depends what you're doing. You can move this stuff around, just kind of make it look the way you want. You can obviously double click and change the text here. I don't know. Like for example, if we were going to make it like Penn State Finance Society, kind of like we did here, or well, for this it was for the Market Analysis Group, which is a subset of the Finance Society. We used our logo here, and then put in a little slogan as well as like the name of the group. So you can basically do similar things like that. You can make it as simple as just the name of your school. Like for example, if the name of your school and then it ends with Finance Society or investment society or investment organization, whatever it may be, you can just tailor that to your own needs. And you can do everything within here without ever having to really make it live. Now, for me personally, I like to make it live. And you do that using the publish section, but you could just save this as a draft and just keep working on it until you're ready to launch it. And you can also go in here, you can change, pops up like the header, you can change the color of the header. All you do is go into change style, and then you have these different types of, they give you some templates. All you have to do is go into edit style. You can change, kind of the way it looks. Does it go across the whole way? Just a lot of different things you can do. You can change colors. Now, the color selector is not great. For example, like if you want like a navy blue, basically you just want to look up these hex colors. You can look them up online. So like navy blue is 219 130. These are just saturation percentages and color percentages. It just basically changes this color spectrum and then puts you exactly where you want. So if you get, basically you figure these out and you remember them, or just write them down, you'll always get this navy blue color you see here. So you'll see, and now remember on Wix it doesn't always show up exactly how this color is, so you'll have to play with those percentages to get the color you want. But otherwise it's not bad. If you have access to Photoshop, that helps you figure out that hex number, for the color code. But otherwise, just play with it until you find one you like, and then even if you, for example, would go into more colors and you would move this around and you find a color you like, all you have to do is remember this code. You can type it in every time. It'll make it, you can change it to whatever you want to do. Same thing goes with with editing the text, you can go and do the same thing with the colors. For example, here at the menu, you can do your pages in here. You can also change the settings to this nav bar. I won't go into everything you could possibly do on this website because that'll be something more specialized you'd want to discuss with me. But basically, you just got to click around and just learn what all you can do, and then you just make changes. I did want to mention, you see how you have these little dotted lines that go along the side? This is actually for mobile view. Anything within those lines you'll be able to see mobily on a cell phone. So if you would access it on, like, if you have an iPhone, you go on Safari or you use Chrome on your cell phone, whatever it may be, you'll be able to see everything. It's all maximized for mobile viewing. Now, keep in mind that when you have the regular website open, that you can put things outside this box and it'll appear on a full screen. So just keep that in mind. Now, when you're going into pages, this is kind of like how you can see, all these different tabs, and this is how like you make changes to all these tabs. So here's like the our team page. You can go through all these. It's all like the different tabs you have up along the top bar. So here's like the blog page, and you can create and edit posts in a blog if you want to put up blog posts. We do that over here since our club is based off of writing financial reports and posting them. We have a blog where basically you can go through and read all of our stuff. But that's kind of like what we do. So like a blog isn't perfect for every website, but it might be right for you. You'll just have to figure out, depending on what your club does, and if you want to be posting constant contact messages, kind of like you might do on Twitter or Facebook, you could do the same thing on your website just by using the blog function. So okay, so we want to create, you're here for your stock pitch competition. Obviously, we want to create this page, and all the pages are generally the same. You'll take this information. You can take it from us and use ours. Generally, it's about the same. Obviously, your dates will change. The rules may change from time to time. Like, for example, after I made the site, like, this section was added. This is kind of how it works. So you might have to add or change things. Sophie will guide you along the way. But once you get this set up, it'll be much easier for you um, to manipulate. Now, you'll notice, like, this URL up here is, it's not great. Unfortunately, with Wix, that's one of the only problems. You can't really change your URLs once you make them, and you can't really make them any better than this. That's just kind of how they come out because you're on like a stock website creator type website. WordPress may be better. Weebly may be better. So if you want a better URL, that might be something you look into when you're making your website. But I know with Wix, you're stuck with this URL. So it all depends what you're looking to do. That's why I don't say excuse me, that's why I don't say that Wix is better than Weebly and Weebly is better than WordPress, and so on and so forth, because they all have their different, good and bad things about them. Um, Sorry about that. I had to cut out there for a second. Um, so, like I was saying, at the end of the day, you're trying to create this stock pitch, this stock competition web page, and you're going to want it to look like this. So, basically, what you're going to do here, and here's like your design. This is how you can more so change the way your website looks with your colors, your fonts, your backgrounds. Make them all the same on every page, which makes it easier than just doing one by one. So I'd recommend doing that. This is where you would add your text boxes, and we'll do that later when we're actually creating the web page. But you'll be using these a lot. I think this is the app, the Wix app. Excuse me, the Wix app market. Um, what you can do that for is all kinds of stuff, weather, live chats, just a bunch of different things you can do with this. Definitely something to check out. And this is where like you create your site address. For example, this is kind of the stock one you get until you purchase your own. Um, as well as like when you go in, you can set your stuff up for Google so the search engine can find your site. You have social settings, all kinds of stuff. You can check out statistics if you upgrade, the whole 9 yards. But what we're doing right now is creating the website. So what we're gonna do here is, we'll remove the blog because we don't need it. So we'll take that out. And just for the sake of doing so, we'll take out the contact section as well. These are all things you may need, but just for the sake of showing you how to do this, we're not going to worry about it. Alright, so we're just going to add a page here. It's very simple, just adding a page. You can leave it just like this, it'll be totally fine. And like you see here, we made it stock competition. Just because like that's how it fit for us. See if I can copy this, if not we'll just type it in. Alright. So we have stock competition here. Adding it as a subpage, what that does is it creates a tab underneath of your thing. We want to make this its own tab. So we'll do that. You'll see now you made yourself a new tab. entitled Stock Competition. Now you can change it to Seeking Alpha Stock Pitch Competition or whatever fits in your tab. For example, we didn't have enough space to fit it in our tab, so that's how it finished up for us. But um, same deal. So and literally, like, you can literally copy and paste this as long as Sophie lets you. I don't mind at all. I created that other website and I have no issue with that. So just for the sake of showing you here, um, we'll kind of start from scratch with this nice blank page. Now, most likely this would all be gone too, but I won't take the time to lead it out. So we'll add a title here. So you just have this standard title. I know it's going to take you some time, but you actually find out it's a lot of fun. You can use these lines here to match everything up to the middle. That does help a lot. So we'll post this in here. Everything will paste as plain text. You'll get to change it, however you want. Um, so let's say this is the colors you have mainly. Your gray, white, and red. Now, just to make this easy, I mean, you can make this background gray if you wanted it to stay gray. You can change it to like a transparent color. You can make it red. We just kind of kept it white. Just makes it easy, nice and easy to see. You don't have to be too crazy with it. Because at the end of the day, people are here to read it, not necessarily, check out how beautiful your website is. So you can this is the title you want to stand out. You can maybe make that 30. You can always stretch this stuff out to make it fit in your page. You just want it to look nice. And I would keep the text, try to keep it the same for, everything you do in the site. The text should always remain the same. Except if you're like italicizing or making things different. So let's say, let's find something that looks nice. Maybe we'll go with this red color. Make that bold. A color like this is nice and easy to see. We'll change it maybe to what's the name of this? Coach Corp. We'll change it to Coach Corp just for the sake of keeping the page. So there you go, Coach Corp. All right, so you have this set up. It's a little smaller because our text is a little different. You can set up however you want. Our text is pretty plain here, but you can make it different colors. You could really make it however you want it. So we'll just grab this stuff quick. I don't know what all this will copy, but we'll give it a shot. Copy it here. Now you'll go in, you'll want to insert a text box. It'll be a paragraph box because you're actually creating like the meat and potatoes of the entire thing. I wouldn't bring it out totally to you kind of want to make it a little more standard. I wouldn't bring it totally out to the edge of the page so it's a little easier to read. Alright, so we were able to copy most of this, which was nice. But again, it's not exactly formatted like the one on our page was, so you'll have to make some changes to that. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of this for now. So you can see, like, just copying and pasting might not be the best way to do it. But I'll show you how you can do a little better for the next one. Alright, so we see here what we have is that, we have this section which we needed up until here, which kind of splits before we get to the two columns. So right now we'll work with that. So we'll bring this back up to the top here, the edge of this box. What that'll do is it'll separate these things. Sometimes you have to grab the stretch handle and pull it. It's honestly, sometimes it's a pain. You'll see, because since we used all this box, you may have to do this to go up to the top, and then when you go back off of it, it should let you pull it up, as you can see here. So you're running into those snags, but it's not something you won't be able to figure out soon enough. Personally, I like justified text. I think it looks a little nicer than just your standard text. So you feel free to. You really can do whatever you want, but feel free to justify the text. I think it looks a little cleaner when you're reading it. It's a lot easier to follow. It's kind of like reading a newspaper. So you have this here, and now this is when you're going to want to go into the add section. You have like buttons and menus. Perfect time to create a button. Obviously this button doesn't look great. So we'll what did I make over here? Register. So register, and you'll see you have a link to section. Now I didn't bring up Google Forms. Give me 1 second. I'll pause this and bring up Google Forms to show you. Alright, we're back. Alright, okay, so I promised you I'd bring up Google Forms to show you how to link this. So but first let's format this button. So you see you have like a bunch of different things. You can align it, the words at the middle. You can do a bunch of stuff. So we'll just click on here to change the style. As you can see here, that's pretty much exactly what we want. We want this large button with a little emphasis. We can go in to edit the style a little more if we want. So like when you mouse over, let's say we want it to go to blue when we mouse over it, and we want a black border. to kind of emphasize it. There's a ton of stuff you can do. Maybe right here the text will turn to black when we mouse over it, a bunch of stuff you can do. It's totally up to you how you want it to look. So um, we'll be good with that for now. Okay, there's our button. Um, so now we have to link it to this Google form. So for example, the one I made looks like this. I actually should show you since I just talked about it. See how this is basically what it'll look like when you mouse over. It'll just change the colors. It looks nice. You don't have to do it. So you'll have this form which you'll create. Now you'll basically just create your questions in here. Like you'll go to Google Forms and use like your Gmail account or a Gmail account, yours or your club's, whatever it may be. And you'll just go in here and you'll create this form. So for this, it would be like if we used basically the same stuff here. We would change this to what's the name of this website? Coach Corp. So we go in here and change this to Coach Corp. And then this would be for up here, excuse me. This would be the name of the form. As you see, it changes it up here to what the form is. And then you would type in your questions, for example, as you can see here. And you'll get all this information from Sophie, but you have, name, university, business school, all these types of questions. And they're all very easy to create. All you do is change the type of question. If you want multiple choice, you make multiple choices. And then right here you click if you want to make the question required to submit the form. And then after that, you have this. This is what comes out. You can upload a photo or something of like your club, like a logo like we did, and it just puts that at the top of the form. You can go through all this stuff, and where's the one button I'm looking for? You can change like the scales and the grid and the date and time and like all this stuff. You can put in an image like you see here under the layout. There's a bunch of things you can do. It's all about just going through and seeing what you want to do. But you're not going to send the form. What you're going to do is embed the form. So you're going to grab this little iframes and just slowly just copy it. Actually, we won't need to do that because we're using a button. If you're just putting the form in one document, you'll have to do that. But otherwise, you should be able to just grab, you view the live form. We have nothing here, but you can obviously see what this would look like. And you can just grab this, just grab the URL directly out of there and attach it here. Just click on link to a website. Boom. And you want to have it open in the same window. So let's publish this site a second. Let's say it's called the site name Seeking Alpha Test. Spell that right? Perfect. So alright. So we'll try this now. Whoop. Whoop. Well, it would have been helpful if I published the website. That was the problem. Make sure you go in here and actually publish the website. Otherwise, the URL won't work. Alright, so now that we got that, excuse that mistake there. So now when you go in a stock pitch competition, you'll see it's here. And then when you register, here you go. Here's your form. Opens up in the same page. Once you're done, you can go right back. And there it loads up nice. So here's kind of what we created so far. You can see how quickly you can turn this into your website. So now we got to create the rest of this. Let's go back here. So we have to create these second things. All you got to do here is create these as second sets of boxes. It's nice and easy. Hopefully easier than me stumbling over the the website. Alright, so we'll create another paragraph. We'll align these guys up. And you can, if you want more space, you can make more space, or however you want it to look. It's totally up to you. So we'll set that there. Space it out a little bit. You can just try to make it like this. Again, it's totally up to you how you end up doing it. So we'll want a second one of these boxes, so we'll just use the cut and paste functions on here. Then we'll just line these guys up so they're the same. And then it should be as simple as just coming in here and grabbing this information. Okay, paste. There you go. Nice and easy. And then you can bold this. And for example, if there's anything else bolded in here, you could go in and bold that. Otherwise, you can just come right in here and grab this stuff. Do the same thing. This will obviously be a lot easier for you to do it this way than to have to type everything in. Now you'll notice like the formatting is not going to copy over. So for example here, there's some things you have to submit. So we'll just do one of these. You can do the other one on your own. So here's one of the things you're going to have to submit. So that's the first part if you're participating as a team. You're required to put this Google Doc in here. So you just copy it. You go back to your web editor. Let me find it wherever it said here. Oh boy, interesting as a team. So you'll go back in, you'll highlight team. If I can just find this, I will. It's here. Oh, it's right here. That's why it was together. Okay, so all you'll do is go to this link button. You'll just link the web address, paste it, and you can even have it open. You can have it open a new window. That's fine. And then just click OK. And then when you go to your live website, that'll be linked. Also, for example, if you needed to, like if you're the primary team contact, we'll go back in here, find where it says primary team contact, and all you gotta do is hit. You can hit Control I or you can hit I, and then that'll italicize that section. So we'll publish this and go out and check it out on the other side and see if it works. And by doing this, you can always double check to make sure your site looks the way you want it to. And like up here, you can change the stuff up here at the top so it doesn't look like that. They it'll look like clean like this, like market analysis group. Well, here you go. So now you have all this in here. It's nice and bolded. You'll see your link works. See, it's the same thing as we had over here that we clicked on. So there you go. It's nice and easy to do. Give everybody all the information that they're looking for. And then you'll also obviously have your Google form here so they can register for you. And you'll see here how when I changed these colors, like see how they changed when I went over. It's very easy to do. It looks great, but very, very easy to do as long as you follow the steps. Alright, so next thing on the list is going to be, we have a little divider here which looks nice, just some contact information. I'll just use the stuff that's here just to make it easy. So we're going to go into add. This is when you go to shapes and lines. We'll just use a nice horizontal line here. Obviously it's not always going to look perfect and be exactly the way you want it right away. So it just takes some creativity. It's fun, like, I'm assuming most of you will actually enjoy this process, so you can kind of space it out. Like you'll see this might not be exact proportion, you could always move these over a little bit if they don't look perfect, but it's totally up to you at the end of the day. Alright, like this one, like usually I'd be a little more picky on this, but this is just more of a tutorial for you guys, so I won't get too crazy on it. So you can go in here and change the style, we can make it look however we want it to look. So you can go and edit the style, you can change the way it looks so it's just a standard black line. With a black border, and that just changes it. You can make the line a little thicker if you want. It's totally up to you. We'll leave it like 3. That's fine. This is all about just clicking around and figuring out, what you like. So you got a nice black border here. You can even put it here if you want. Just make it, so it looks nice. All right. So the next thing on the list is to create this contact information section. So we'll do something very similar to what we did before, except for contact information. You can either create it as looking like this, or you can just create it as regular text. For this, we'll just do it as regular text. It's totally up to you how you actually end up doing it yourself. So we'll go into text, make another paragraph. Okay, we'll make this kind of proportional to the rest of it, just so it's not as wide. All right, so you just double click. We'll paste this in here. All right, so we got some contact information. We'll bold this to make that look, just kind of make it look a little nicer. We'll move this all to the middle so it kind of flows a little better in here. See what we had here. And you'll have to move this stuff around because this might be too big. You might be able to shorten this. You could just change it maybe to contact email address instead of competition contact. Or you could just change it to competition email address. Again, totally up to you how you want to do these things. And when you're if you want to link these emails, all you have to do is copy the email, go right back over top of it, email, boom. What that'll do is then that'll let them click on the email, and it'll open up in your desired email web browser. Sometimes it goes defaultly to Microsoft Outlook, but you'll still be able to copy the email so that way you can contact the people if need be. But if you use Microsoft Outlook, or you have your computer set up so the default email goes to like your Gmail, or a Yahoo account, or whatever you have, then you'll be able to do that. Now, like for the address here, that was literally just from this is what I pulled it from. So you can literally just go to Google, pull that off, come back in, and then you can highlight this and make it linked to a web address. So there you go, and then that'll give you a link to the map as well. So let's say we wanted to, I may have to find it here, but let's say we wanted to link this to Google Maps. Give me 1 second to find. There it is. Alright, so the nice thing about Wix is that it literally has a link to Google Maps. So it's built into Wix, so it makes it really easy to use. You can kind of, fit this and make it as big or as small as you want. So you go into settings. You literally just change the address. It's actually that easy. I know that's hard to believe. So we just grab the address off Google, copy that in there, and then Google Maps will actually find, for example, it found it here. Which I don't know if it actually found it or not. I can't tell. Yeah, oh yeah, it did. Yeah, but, alright, so, and then you can change sometimes these things get in the way, you can just move them. Yeah, and you can always double check if you think it didn't grab it, but as you can see, it did. It grabbed the correct place. Alright, so for them, we can just change this to Smeal, or whatever your business building name is. So, Smeal College of Business. This would be like a Penn State. So there, that changes the map, and so you can have it set up like that, and you could also take a picture. You could take a screenshot of this and then link this to basically link like this page to a picture. But it's easier just to use the Google Map button, then they can scroll around here, and then you have the address right above, so they can just click on it. I mean, again, there's a million ways to do everything. It's just all up to how you like it. All right, so let's check this out. Okay. So see, we have our whole site here, and you can make a ton of formatting changes to this. But this is pretty much what you'll need. You have all this kind of figured out. Right here, you'll have all your contact information. You'll have your link to Google, so people can find directions easily or use it for their GPS on their phone. And then you'll also have this map that you can interact with, which is nice. If people want to see like what's around, or I mean, I don't know why they'd want to change the satellite view, but they could. And zoom in, just check out, like, for example, they wanted to find, oh, where's the creamery? Is it close to us? Well, there it is. A ton of stuff you can do, but that's basically how you incorporate the page. So, let's say we figured out how to set up your web page, incorporated the web page on your club website. Now, we kind of did that by showing you how to do this. That's basically how you would just take an already made website and doing it. It was the same thing if I went into this website and just created a new page. Same deal. You're still going to have to create a new web page to do this. We did the Google registration form, and we showed you how to include a Google map as well as links. When it comes to changing your website after receiving feedback and how to tailor it to the stock pitch competition, this is a lot of what you're going to be doing. Making sure that you have a link right on your home page up here. So if you go back to the home page, actually we'll do it over here, it'll be easier to see. You want to have a link right to your home page where it's easy to see, and maybe put something in the middle here that shows, your stock pitch competition. For example, like you can see ours is right here. We had stuff in here for a while. It's not here anymore because we've had other content come up since then. But when we originally pushed this, it was right, on the mainframe. So you'll want to do that if you have a section for it. But if not, you want to keep this tab here. I'd also recommend making like a Facebook event as well, just to keep pushing that. But you'll see you want to have that, so right when you click to it, it goes right to it, and they have all the information they need, and it's very easy to read. It's not overwhelming. all the rules, the timelines, and you'll get all this information from Sophie when you create your competition. And just, make it easy so they know who to contact, where they're going, what they have to do, just like stuff like that. Um, so I would say we pretty much touched on this. Um, and this. Again, when you get feedback, just go in and make the changes. We got it down pretty well now, but there's always going to be things that need change. Like I said, after remade hours, we had to go back in and add this section, the how to submit section, because things change. So you'll have to make sure you're flexible and able to make your changes. All right, so here comes the fun part, and that's buying your domain. A lot of people don't even know what a domain is. Basically, that's how you take it from .wix.com / all this stuff to just this. So you have your normal .com. At the end of the day, that's what you're looking to do. So when you're in your editor, and you go into your settings and your site address, right here you can say you can connect a domain to Wix Wix's site by purchasing a premium package. You'll go to learn more. It's going to give you all this information about basically how to connect the domain. If you already have one, you're not going to have to worry about this. If you already have a website and it's connected to a domain, it's fine. You can get a free domain by buying a package through Wix, which is fine. It's probably the easiest thing for you to do. If you buy a domain like a GoDaddy or outside of this, it's probably gonna be a lot more difficult for you to do, because then you're gonna have to get the domain and then upload it, and not upload it, but link it to the site. For people who know what they're doing, it won't be hard. But if you don't have a lot of experience with going on and doing this, then you're probably just gonna want to do it through here. I mean, it's really not that expensive. Um, if you buy I'm pretty sure it's the unlimited one. I'm pretty sure. Actually, you probably need the combo, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the combo is probably better off for you. You'll get it for a year. It'll, you can see basically what all you get in here that are, depending on the package you buy. So you can connect your domain for free. You'll get your domain. You'll have Google Analytics, free hosting, premium support, and most importantly, it removes the ads. You don't want the ads. For example, create a free Wix site. It just doesn't look good. This one was like the one we bought. You paid by e-commerce, so we had a bunch of stuff down at the bottom of the page because of the template we use. So you don't want that. So spend a little extra money. It's this plan right here. It's $9.25 a month instead of $408. Assuming that your club either receives some sort of benefit from your school, or you collect dues, this will be easy to pay for. You also get wider bandwidth. I mean, you're not getting unlimited bandwidth, but your site will be a little faster too. I mean, granted, you don't need it to be lightning, but that helps. The rest of this, you're not really gonna need to get a voucher for like Facebook ads and Google AdWords and all that, but this will get you where you need to go. Now, if you have the money, you can get $350 in ad vouchers, which will basically get you higher up on the list on Google and Bing and Facebook and stuff like that, local listings as well. You also get premium apps, which is nice. I mean, but there's a lot of good apps that are free too. But again, you have options. So depending on the budget of your club, you can figure out what's best for you. And if your club already has this, they probably already know what's going on. But if you just connect the domain, you're still gonna have ads, and you want to get rid of those ads. So spend the extra, five, whatever it is, a little over $5 a month. It's definitely worth your time. Then you get a nice site like this. It looks like any other site you'd go on, and you're not getting this create a Wix. It just doesn't look good. It really doesn't. So yeah, that's kind of that. If you have any questions, feel free. Like I said, my email was earlier in this, but I'll put it in here just in case you want to reach out to me. My name is Steve Pickle. My email address is right here. You can also get that from Sophie. I'll be available anytime. Just drop me a line. If you need help with setting up your web page, you need some ideas on how to make it, look nicer, how to incorporate it. Any issues with the forms, or like how to create the form. I know I didn't go over that much. Also with the Google Map. Just basically anything you need that you're not sure about or you need help with, just drop me a line, or Sophie and can get in touch with me and we'll figure it out. I should say Sophie or equivalent, just in case somebody else ends up taking over her position at some point in time. But yeah, that's about it. I apologize for the lengthy video, but I hope this helps.